All right, friends, we're going to do a feature of the day. It's Mitch Hooper, man. We're going to do a reaction to Mitch Hooper's video. The gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave himself, Mitch Hooper. Strongman. Yes. Strongman maxing here. Strongman maxing slave. Anyway, so Mitch Hooper says, how you can deadlift 600 pounds and more. Okay. How can I? Easy, steroids like you, Mitch.
I truly believe anyone can deadlift 600 pounds, and today I'm going to tell you how. Before we get started,
Yeah, I truly believe that everybody can deadlift 600 pounds that take steroids like Mitch Hooper. If you take the same steroids that Mitch Hooper takes, you too could deadlift 600 pounds. Yes, of course, anybody can. That's what steroids are for. That's what they do. That's their job. Yeah, man. You want to find out? Take the steroids that he takes. Just ask him which ones he takes, because he's mentioned them in his video. I don't know exactly. I can't remember which ones. Ask him. I mean, he says he takes steroids, but the exact ones that he takes, that's something you're going to have to ask him so that you can mix up that combination so you too could lift over 600. Yeah.
again, I want you to comment down below, what is your max deadlift and what is your deadlift?
I don't know. I haven't found out yet on steroids what my max deadlift is without putting in all that work, you know. Just taking steroids and just lifting heavy. Yeah. It's a struggle to get there when you're natural. 600 pounds. Your body doesn't like doing that. It's not natural to do those things. That's why most people, you see that it's unnatural, people lifting such heavy weights. You've never seen natural people like that in the past lifting such heavy weights. And if you did, well, over something 100 years ago or whatever people are talking about, over 100 something years ago, sand, all that bullshit, that's all fake stuff, man, with those big balls and everything, empty big metal balls. They had fake weights back then too, man. Now I'm talking about this guy here in these competitions. They're regulated, they're real. No, people have never lifted such weight before in their life. They started lifting such weight when they took steroids. See what I mean? That's the difference. Yeah.
Goal. Let's see how much work we have to do to get you to your 600 pound deadlift or to your next milestone.
Steroids. Steroids, man.
Of course, there are some caveats, but I am talking about the vast majority of people watching this video.
Yeah, I am too.
I am talking about men for 600 pounds, but for women
I am too.
watching, I'm talking about 360 pounds because statistically, that's the same. 13.7% of competitive powerlifters can hit those numbers for both men and women. So continue watching, and I'm going to give you these tips.
Yeah, men and women on steroids. Have you seen those women on steroids, man? They look like men.
The only other caveat I'm giving is I'm talking about people under 60 years old and who are healthy without chronic injury, illness, conditions that would prevent them.
Yeah, healthy people without chronic injuries, chronic age, whatever, you know, all that. Yeah, steroids, yeah, of course.
From making the same progress as other people in.
Look, man, I can make the same claim too. You understand me? It's not hard to make the same claim. Go get some steroids. Go to a foreign country or wherever. I don't know where you're getting your steroids. You're Canadian, right? Steroids are illegal, aren't they? I don't know how you're in possession, and even them coursing through your blood. I heard that the courts were gonna, if they caught people, even if you had steroids in your blood, they could arrest you at the airport. You know what I mean? That you went to a foreign country, you injected these steroids, and then you brought them in your blood into the country, them coursing through your blood still, injecting them.
Deadlift. Now, I'm going to give you the 4 key areas that you need to improve.
Coursing through your blood, yes, these steroids.
That usually fall apart when it comes to building a big deadlift. But if you want more extensive help along with the program, I have linked my programs down in the description below.
No, man, none of those programs are going to get you there without those steroids like he took, okay? Don't waste your time, man.
Now, the 4 areas I'm going to go over today are core strength, your leg strength required to deadlift.
Look at this guy. Look how much weight he's carrying on his body. He looked like that before he started. He was a long-distance runner. He was skinny. Look how much weight he's lifting here. You think you guys are going to lift that weight without those drugs, what he's doing? Come on. Crazy.
lift big weight, the patience and programming required to be able to lift big weight and deadlift big weight. And
Is there a money back guarantee without doing it without drugs? Because I guarantee none of you people are going to lift that without those drugs, man. All right? Unless, of course, your food has some anabolics in them already, like your chicken down there, wherever you're living, wherever province or state you're living in, your chicken has some fucking steroids and shit, pumped up with steroids, maybe, I don't know, oxy something in there, whatever, the shit. A bronchodilators or whatever, to lift something heavy, dude, because this is crazy.
now, to the number one reason.
Like maybe you could work up to it natural. I'm not saying natural people can't work up to a certain degree to lift or do certain things, but that's astronomically ridiculous. He did it in a very short period of time. You know, you understand me? With steroids. Because here's the question. If he really could do all this, the 600-pound, all these lifts and everything, then why does he have to take steroids? If his plans, Mitch Hooper's plans, work so good, why does he have to take steroids and sell you a plan? That doesn't make any sense. Can he prove that his plan works on natural people? Why doesn't he prove it? Get off the steroids and show us how strong you really are, Mitch. Come on, Mitch. You're a man, aren't you? Not a mouse.
People don't deadlift what they could, and the number one reason deadlifts fall apart, it is a weak core. Now,
Okay, then let's see you do it without the steroids, Mitch. Come on.
deadlift is the number one core exercise when they do intramuscular EMG.
Sure,
So
yeah.
since it stimulates the core the most, wouldn't you figure that all you should do is deadlift more and you should increase your core strength? To be honest,
You know, this isn't a natural channel, bro. Get it? You have to be stupid to believe that. I want to see him do it without all these steroids. If he says this is possible, oh, natural people can lift this, I got these programs, let's see your program work without the steroids, because it doesn't work. That's right. That's right. It doesn't work. Mitch Hooper's lifts without steroids, they're not going to work, no matter how many programs you take.
I used to think this for a long time, but I've come to realize that you can deadlift big weight without having the strongest core. It can.
You can? How do you know that? Without steroids? How do you know you can lift that without the best core without steroids? How do you know that? You've never done it without steroids. Let's see you do it without steroids.
Be the weak link in the chain. And we can identify how it's a weak link in the chain.
Yeah, the weak link in the chain is you not taking steroids. That's the weak link in the chain. Get it? Yeah, man. Come on.
The number one way we would identify that is a rounded back off of the floor. The reason
A way to identify that is to take a blood test to see if you're on steroids or not. You identify to see if you have the exact same amount of steroids that he has in his blood. You need to take a blood test to find out. You're not taking them, see? So if you're not taking them, that's the problem. Get it? It's kind of obvious.
that this is an adaptation that we have is because it decreases the moment arm between our
Adaptation? Has he adapted to his steroids? Oh, adaptations. Okay.
shoulders and our hips. And moment arm is essentially the leverage by which we use to lift any weights. The second year university way of explaining this is if you were to push a door at the hinges versus a door at the end, of course pushing the door at the end is going to be much, much stronger. And effectively, that's what we're doing by bringing
Yes, that's what you're doing, man. It's all you, Mitch. Yes, it's all Mitch. It's not the drugs talking. It's Mitch.
Our hips and our shoulders closer together. We're bringing the line of action of our force and the area by which the force.
See, you're bringing the line of force. The trend is not bringing the line of force, the trembolone. It's you that's bringing the line of force.
Needs to be exerted as close together as possible, meaning that we have a mechanical advantage. The number two way we can identify.
You have a mechanical advantage, of course. If I take steroids, would I not have a mechanical advantage? Come on. It's kind of obvious.
A weak core in the deadlift is difficult lifting from knee.
Are you telling me that I can't lift more than you if I take steroids? I carry more muscle than you naturally. So if I take these steroids, should I be able to lift even more? See what I mean? Well, then again, I'm older than you. Let's turn back the clock. If I was to go back in time, be the same age as you, right? With the amount of muscle that I carry naturally. When I take these steroids, I should be able to lift more than you.
To mid-thigh. This is not a different statement to the last one. It's partially, if you round your back, you're eventually going to have to unround your back in the second half of the lift.
Well, if you take steroids, you don't have to round your back. Your back won't be rounded, I'm pretty sure.
But more importantly,
Yeah.
the first part of the deadlift, your core stays the exact same, or I should say your torso stays the exact same angle. Once it gets
You
past
see, it looked like he was a red tomato. He was about to explode there. His head was going to pop off.
your knees, when you need to start opening up
Look at this. Look at this face. Oh my God. This guy. It's crazy.
your torso, and you need to open like a book and stand tall, of course, to lock out the
Yeah.
deadlift. If you have a weak core, it is still possible to bring your hips through, but then you're going to get stuck in that all too familiar position with the bar just above your knee, and your back rounded as hell, and you're trying to fight and fight and fight, but it's just not going anywhere. Well, if you had a stronger core and you were able to stiffen your back,
Yeah. If you need a stronger core, stiffen your back, whatever, just take some Trembolone, man. Just take some steroids. Yeah.
ultimately you could deadlift more weight.
All right.
And number 3 is if you're prone to low back pain when it comes to deadlifting. This is going to get to our core strength and how do we build core strength and intra-abdominal pressure, et cetera, et cetera. But if your core is weak, you're naturally going to be predisposed to predisposed to low back pain. This is because we have 3 layers of protection when it comes to our core and deadlifting in our low back. Number 1
Oh, it is it? Oh, okay.
is going to be your ability to create intra-abdominal pressure. A stronger core means more intra-abdominal pressure. Number 2 is going to be our spinal erectors, our muscular resistance to folding over. Of course, this is going to have natural limitations. And number
Oh, what's that? What's that? Natural limitations? But you're doing something unnaturally, so it shouldn't have any limitations, though, should it? Okay.
3 is relying on our soft tissues.
Yeah,
And there are a lot of
soft
people
tissues.
who rely on the soft tissues of their low back to transfer the force from the legs
Okay.
to the shoulders. And this is the thing you have to understand most about the core. Its job
Yeah.
is to translate the force you put through your legs into your shoulders.
Okay.
The reason that we can't deadlift as much as we leg press is because our core is the weak link in the chain, and it will likely continue to be that way. Of course,
What? What's he talking about? Everybody that's taking steroids are lifting these numbers. Everybody that is taking these steroids are lifting these numbers because steroids have that power. Have you seen the Trend Twins? Even the little Trend midgets. They lift lots of heavy weight. They move heavy weight around. Want to know how? Why? How? Steroids. Without those steroids, they wouldn't move any of those numbers around now, would they?
we also have that the bar is loaded out in front of us. There is more than just that. But if our core was
That's why this is such a bullshit sport, man. And this guy, what he's promoting is just garbage. Look online, the average lifter on steroids, like the Trent Twins and everybody, they're blasting, man, like crazy. They're blasting weights. They're lifting heavy weight, throwing it around like it's fucking tissue paper, left and right, benching, throwing, pulling, whatever. I don't know what Mitch Hooper's talking about. There's so many people online lifting heavy shit on the juice, okay? This is garbage.
absolute rock solid, and there was no wavering.
And he has this garbage program for you, like this stupid program that's going to make you lift or help you lift some heavyweight garbage. Whatever.
And no difficulty whatsoever.
I don't buy it.
You would be able to deadlift maybe 70% of what you could leg press.
You're not going to deadlift anything out there, man, if you don't take his drugs like he is and like all the rest of the people that are online taking them to lift heavy weights.
I'm going to talk a little bit later about
You'll probably be able to do something, but it'll take you years to get there. Lots of practice at doing specific things, and not all your lifts will be. You won't be good at all the lifts, unless of course you're practicing at all 4. I don't know. Unless you practiced at it, you'll be good at it, but you'll only be good to a degree. You'll never be as good as somebody on steroids lifting in the opposite direction, concentrically lifting. Never.
what that ratio should be. But the point is, if you strengthen your core, you will be able to absolutely blow your lifts out of the water.
The only way you probably could come close is if you build muscle. If you build real muscle. If you build your body up with real muscle, then yeah, you may be able to get close there. Definitely close. But that's about it. Yeah, and that takes a while too to build up your body with real muscle. You know what I mean?
Now, how do we strengthen your core for deadlifts? We can't just have a do-it-all approach, and a generally strong core means a very strong deadlift. We're not going to be doing med ball twists and pal-off presses and general core strengthening exercises specifically for the deadlift.
Okay.
We need to focus on increasing our ability to generate intra-abdominal pressure. This is how we deadlift big weight. This is how we keep our back safe. Now, there are 3 reasons why you
keep your back safe. Let's see what else he has here. This is boring, man. This is just fucking chatting. The whole video is probably chatting.
One quick note on belt before we move to part number 2, leg strength. The belt actually increases
the belt.
Leg strength. Leg strength.
The belt increases strength. The belt, but not the steroids. Okay.
It's probably the most overlooked thing when it comes to deadlifting well.
Yeah, okay.
Lift. Let's talk about how to know if you're using too much back when it comes to the deadlift. First of all, the general question when we are... I've created some very rough guidelines when I was making this video on where should your squat be and where should your leg press be in relation to your deadlift.
I don't know.
So,
where should it be?
This problem ends, again, I have a program down for your legs below. If this is...
See, if it's not working, he's got a program down below again. See that? But he's on drugs, though. Remember that. He's doing it with drugs.
Your problem. Now,
Yep.
first half by having a very strong second half of the lift. So strong legs are going to be absolutely vital when it comes to deadlifting massive
Yeah, strong legs are really good to have. Definitely, yes. Okay.
weights. Part number 3
But strong steroids even better. Okay? Yeah.
is technique. I do put technique as...
Yeah.
Because you're going to start to think more about the
Yeah, it's all technique. It isn't steroids. It's technique. Yeah, sure.
technique than the aggression required to deadlift. Lift, and you will make good, steady progress on your movement quality over time. Now, part number 4 is, of course, patience and programming. If you made it this far in the video, you clearly have 5 to 10 years before you can say something is possible or not possible.
5 to 10 years. That's a long time, man. Okay. Wow.
For you.
You could take a shortcut. It's called steroids, like Mitch Hooper did.
And you know what? In that 5 or 10 years before you...
Yeah, of course. Yes, Mitch.
Muscles, so we don't want to be going to maximum effort. We want a stimulus. We want to be working generally hard, but we don't want to be working to maximum.
Sure we do. Yes.
In the long run. Now, one additional caveat that I didn't give at the beginning is not required but is useful is body weight. Overall,
body weight. How you get your body weight? Steroids, stinkoids.
If you can deadlift 600 pounds, and this is the same for women.
Again, if you could deadlift 600 pounds, yeah, steroids. Yeah, I could deadlift it with steroids, okay?
At 360. If you can deadlift 600
with steroids.
This much.
When you get off those steroids, you're going to be so skinny and so weak. So I don't get what's the point here exactly? Is this just all entertainment for show? You're an entertainer, okay? You're entertaining. That's our job. So I don't understand what you're trying to push here exactly. You're trying to recruit lifting slaves? You're crazy.
But the laws of thermodynamics.
Yeah. The laws and all this, yeah. You bypass the law. You take steroids.
Those options in my programs are linked down in the description and in the pinned comment. Whether you get
his programs, and I'm tired of this guy, man. Why doesn't he just tell you which ones he's taking to lift that heavy weight? I'll see you in the next one. I don't understand these people, man. So much to think about that. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. It's crazy shit.